was headed out to take out another new to me gun. Picked up a Thompson Center Hawken, and I have fired this once before when I got it a week ago. And very nice example. It's one of the ones that says Hawken. Here's the neat thing about Hawkens. This one obviously is not a true Hawken replica. It is a iteration that Thompson Center put out, which I believe is more patterned after the Leman, L-E-M-A-N, pattern of gun with a single wedge. But it is a 1 in 48 twist, and one of the cool things about 1 in 48 twist, you see a lot of people say it's a crappy twist online in the forums. You gotta chuckle. Many people keep regurgitate the same exact myth. Here we go. Hear that? There it is. It's another one that's not the same deer. He's napping on this nice day. So, this is awesome. They're starting to set up their territories, finding their happy homes, eating the sweet grass, just enjoying life. Anyway, one of the biggest myths, I would say, is in barrel twist. I mean, even when I got in, everyone's like, oh, you got to have a 1 in 66 to shoot balls well and a patch round ball. Oh, anything faster than 1 in 66 is terrible. 1 in 60, you know, and so 1 in 70 is better. So, you know, I kind of fell for that too initially, not knowing any better. Here's another deer. Yeah. Today's the day, man. Fast forward this exact day 4 months from now, and I should be good to go. And so, the original Hawken brothers, both J and S Hawken, put their guns in 1 in 48 twist. And that was not by mistake. They didn't just stumble upon it. They determined that that's what they wanted to do. So if you want to go with the Hawken guns, you're going with a 1 in 48 twist. They actually excel, in my opinion, at round ball and conicals. Finding the right weight conical and the right powder charge might be the issue. Same thing with your patch combination and round ball. However, they actually work extremely well. 1 in 48 twist is one of the original twists. Yeah, that deer is actually running parallel to me right now. And the other one went this way, so I've actually got one on both sides of me. So they're the 1 in 48 twist is actually one of the great twists of history, especially if you are a Hawken fan. Now again, back to this. This is not a Hawken gun pattern. It takes more of the Leman style of pattern. And back in the Jeremiah Johnson days, there was thankfully, the rebirth and renaissance of our muzzleloading heritage. And so there's lots of videos done from lots of people, a lot of research and so on, but the general consensus that I've gathered is that Thompson Center used the Hawken name, stamped it onto their gun, and then they used the Seneca, Cherokee. There's a Cougar line, which is a silver instead of brass line with a nicer quality of wood. The Senecas I believe, came in 36 and 45 only. I could be wrong on that. I'm trying to remember now. That's what you get when you wing it. I have my 36 Seneca. Super nice. You've seen that in the videos. The 45s, one of the cautions that many people say is that because that stock is a much thinner, the barrel is also the thinner. I think it's 13/16 instead of 15/16 across the flats. So one of the things that many people say is you got to be careful of shooting the 45 with high-end loads. You can crack the wrists of those guns. You do see that pop up. I have no first-hand experience with it. On the way, I actually have a 45 Hawken coming in, not the Seneca Hawken, and that should be here tomorrow. Depending on when this video posts, it will have already come, and I've already got balls cast up for that. So with that said, this one, I got lucky. I'm just going to tell you, so when you're looking for these guns, looking used, I got on GunBroker. I found one I wanted. Nobody was bidding on it. So I put a bid in on it, and then some idiot comes out. And I say idiot because if you don't understand how GunBroker works, hopefully you learn this now. So GunBroker has what's called a 15-minute rule. 15 minutes means you don't get to snipe auctions like you do on eBay, where you come in with a minute left or 30 seconds left and throw in a giant bid. All you do is reset the timer against yourself. And that is so that people who want to snipe don't get to drive up prices on guns last minute without giving somebody the opportunity to come back in and bid again. So in the case of this one, the one I saw was super nice. And, you know, the way GunBroker works, just like I do with eBay, any auction site, if you put a bid in, put your maximum bid that you're willing to pay and bid it. So in this case, I think I put, this was an exceptionally nice Hawken, 50 cal. However, it didn't say Hawken on the barrel, but it was the Hawken furniture. And the guy actually had the one with the brass colored triggers, had nice brass screws coming through. So it was actually a really nice gun. And I said, what am I willing to bid? And I go, I'll bid, I think I put $550, because I was watching the guns go from anywhere in poor condition of about $300 all the way up to $600. And there is that big shift in range based on condition and so on. This one was in exceptional condition, so I think I put $550, maybe even as high as $600 on this one, which may seem high to some people. I did not want to pay that. My starting bid, I think, sat at $300 with the guy's gun, or $350, whatever it was, for the 5 or 6 days. And right at 15 minutes, I'm watching, and I was like, all right, somebody bid it up, you know, probably an hour before, got it up in the $400 range. And then, with less than a minute to go, this idiot comes in, not understanding how the auction works, bids it up to, I don't know, $450, something like that. They lost. So, but all they did was reset the timer to 15 minutes. So now my max bid is, I think, you know, I don't know, 600. This was a couple weeks ago. I don't even remember which one it was, because I was bidding on a few different things. And so he bids it, loses. So then he waits again until like 1 minute left, hits it again, bumps me up again. I'm still winning, but now it's a half hour goes by. Does it again, and like on the third time, I'm like, I wish there was a send feature which is like, dude, stop being an idiot, just fucking bid your maximum. And if you get it, you get it. I mean, I'm not going to bid above my maximum. That's what you got to figure out, because you can get in these stupid bidding wars. So anyway, I think, let's just say my top bid was $600. I don't think it was that high, but so I mean, it was $599, $575, whatever it was, because I calculate shipping into what I want to spend as well. And I was like, that's just too much on these, because I'm watching the rest of them sell for anywhere from $375 to $425 all day long. This one being a beautiful, exceptional. You had borescope picture on it. But anyway, finally, this guy bids up to, I think it was I think there was like $675, buy it now, maybe that's what it was. So anyway, he bids it up and gets like $650, because it's in 25 increments after you hit a certain thing or whatever. So anyway, I backed out. The minute he kept going on this, I was like, whatever, you're either going to hit my maximum or not. So we ended up buying it for, I think, $640, and the buy it now was like $675. So we waited a week just to be an idiot. Just don't be an idiot. If you're going to bid on there, realize the 15-minute rule means just that. Once somebody bids under the 15 minutes to the end of auction, it's going to keep resetting 15 minutes from there. So this guy was bidding against himself for, I think it was like 45 minutes or an hour. So anyway, I was like, all right, please just fucking outbid me. Take the damn gun that you want. So then I went back into my watch list, and there's, you know, I think there were 50 different Hawkens on there at the time in different calibers. And so I was like, well, so I found another one that was in my watch list, and I think I paid $350 shipped for this other one, and it's exceptional. It's awesome. So anyway, I'm going to show you that one. I did take it out. This is a little education for those of you who are not familiar with the GunBroker auction sites. eBay still has it where you can come in and bid at the end and really get that last second bid in and whatever. But if you're going to win, you got to figure out your maximum. So if you think something's valued at $250 to you, Don't go in there and bid $100 because the previous bid was $50. Put in $250, and then that will bump you to the top. And you'll outbid the other person, and if they even get a second or they're using a program to try to outbid you, it'll automatically bid above your last bid and then keep bumping it up to their high bid. So if you think it's worth 300 and you put 300 in, you're going to win the auction or lose the auction if somebody else had a higher one. So just you do a little research before you do that. Anyway, this Thompson Center Hawken, I had out, and I did my typical load right out of the gate of for my 50s, which is 2F powder. Today and last time I was using the Graf's Schutzen house blend, and that's 2F with a, then I was using a 15,000 Sox yoke patch and a 490 hand cast round ball. And at 50 yards, I was actually getting some really nice tight groups. So one of the benefits of a used gun, if it is in good condition and the previous owner did their research, your sights are probably pretty damn close to being on. So at 50 yards, and then I had my wife try it, and she was dead nuts on too. So and that's awesome. So today I'm just going to paint these targets real quick, and we're going to shoot steel. I think I got 10 or 15 rounds with me, and we're going to go however many I feel like. It won't be that many. Yeah, mosquitoes are bad, and I'm actually really tired. So we're going to do that. But I did want to show you. Check this out. This target here, I had at 50 yards. I was shooting my Indian trade musket. This was my point of aim. And I hit one way over there, and then I pulled one in, and I had some vertical stringing here. I actually put a rear sight onto that musket and that trade gun, and now I'm hitting just left of center. So we'll revisit that with some patched round balls going through that smooth bore. Anyway, this one will come up, and then we'll follow it up with a 45, and we'll have some fun. But this is a Thompson Center Hawken with the Hawken barrel, Hawken stamp, non-kit gun, factory gun, in really good condition. You can't really date these guns, so there's no real way to know because the records were lost and they made different runs. You can guesstimate, but anyway, it's probably a 1970s to 80s series gun. Based on the limited narrowing, you can research it. And it's in excellent condition. We're going to do 60 grains of 2F powder. With a 490 patched round ball, and today we're going to be using the 10,000s patched pre-lubed patches from Cabela's. I grabbed those intentionally because I had a whole bunch of them I bought probably in 2013 and have not used them. I did find that they actually work really well in one of my other guns, and I want to see how they do in this one because I know my 15,000s works really well. So we're going to try that. We'll see what happens. So here we go. Check that out. This is one. It does say Hawken. Has a little bit of speckling of rust, but very little. Nipple screws in and out. Everything was very, very nice. There's no casting issues with the hammer like I have on my smooth bore. Brass hardware is a very, very nice dull patina. So nothing super shiny on here, and it shoots like a champ. Alright, going for the white dot. Setting the rear trigger first. Again, newer shooter, so we'll set the rear trigger, and then we're going to drop this notch way down in the V. And one thing is neat is you have this extra little hook under here. It's nice, you can pull it into your shoulder with your middle finger if you like. I'm just going to rest that big white piece of paint right on the top of that front sight. I'm going to aim exactly the same. Again, using our Polish capper. So on this one, I'm going to aim over on the steel. And I'm just going to aim center. And that's just a hair high of where I was aiming. Yeah, these are hitting left with that thin patch. Slightly high and to the left. Alright, we're going to go back on steel. First shot on steel was slightly high to the left. The other one is further to the left to the edge, but more on playing with the height I was aiming, but left. And then we're going to do the same thing, same aiming spot with a swage ball. Almost point of aim, but now slightly low left for the swage ball. The other two were hand cast balls, slightly larger diameter. Same spot. And that one went high left again to where my first one was. And so, and when I followed through on that shot, I was right where I wanted to be with no drop, and I'm pushing this way. So these patches are keeping me slightly left. I mean, it's still a good shot, but it's not a good group right now. Remember, we're going for hunting accuracy for me, which is putting the ball where you want it. And this isn't it. The other day, I did not have, well actually I did have my cameras with me, but my wife came. She almost never comes in the woods for black powder, so I didn't break them out for you. But we put them right in the center, but that's with my 15,000 Soxio. And those are those wetter patches of the Hoppe's black powder. All right. Okay, here we go. So, 50 yards, 60 grains, patched round balls, swaged. And the reason we brought swaged out today in those patches because I have a bunch of swaged balls that are still sitting around and I found them and I haven't shot them in a while and I wanted to use some of them up. And I think you guys are going to appreciate this grouping, if you want to call it a grouping. So this will hopefully be followed up with an update with the gun, because I want to show you what inconsistencies can and can't do with loading, as well as patch thickness and cleaning between shots. So the next time we bring this gun out, I will be doing 15,000 Soxio patch, which is my go-to now because I buy them bare, I put them in a medicine bottle, and I pour Hoppe's black powder solvent and lube down inside, and I get those saturated. They're actually really soaking wet, and then over time they do dry a little bit, but and then I'll top them off with that and they stay nice and they keep the crud. However, when we're doing a hunting group and we're shooting for hunting groups, we're going to try cold bore every time, which means I'm going to shoot one, clean, dry, shoot again. So we'll do that on the next go around. These patches, this is the reason I got away from these patches. Now, some of you may say this is me and not the patches, or vice versa, or it's patches, not me. It could be the powder, it could be the compression, it could be the loading. So that's why if you can keep all of your steps consistent when you're doing your loading. Now, I have a little notch on that where 60 grains was because I marked that. So I am loading to the same spot, so the compression is the same. I could tell about 6 inches, 5 to 6 inches down, that bore, you could see me struggling to get through. There's a crud ring right there, which is catching, and I did scrub clean that barrel. It was actually in really nice shape. A little bit of surface rust, and I just ran a couple of patches through before coming out. So let's take a peek here and I'll show you. So I'll show you the first shot, second shots, and so on. Point of aim is right here. Well, actually, this spot right here was my point of aim, because that's about my equidistance. So I was resting here, so I was expecting it to hit somewhere right in here. My first shot was right here, and that was the swage. Well, I say that now. I hope it was swage or hand cast. Second shot here, again, point of aim right here. And then the next one was that third shot was down here. Fourth shot back up here was a swage, so yeah, these are swage. And then here was that last shot right there. Point aim dead center here, and it felt really good. Really, really fucking good. And that's where we hit. So, that is a massive flyer. But that actually is why I got rid of those patches out of my, like if you watch all of my videos, going back to a long time ago, actually back when, geez, I don't even know, whenever this channel first started, you may see those patches in there, and I stopped using those, which is, I mean, that pack is from 2000 and, geez, well, at least since that Pedersoli, so I think I've got some from my Great Plains rifle, which would have been 2004, 2005 range. And then I know I bought more when I got my Pedersoli Frontier, aka the Blue Ridge from Cabela's. And that one absolutely cannot shoot groups just like that. That's actually like what that does with those 10,000s and a 490 swaged ball. And the hand cast actually did a little bit better. That was that bottom one. You know, it was a little closer, but that patch thickness is what makes a difference. And I forget who told me, I mean, I know about patch thickness, but somebody told me about Oxyoke Company and their patches. And I'll tell you what I like about them is you can actually see the weave going up and down on them as they're actually woven. So what I do is I actually orientate my weave vertical in relation to the barrel on the sight, so they point straight up and down. And then I can center on that, and on a 50, those seem to go just perfect. And that's what I shoot all my deer with, is those Oxyoke with that charge. And when I had it out here the other day with my wife, I had my other bag out, we were sitting right on the ground, and she was squatting. We were sitting, didn't even have a chair, didn't even rest. And we were shooting steel just like that. And we had a nice baseball-sized group in the center between her and I. Neither one of us threw a flyer that time. And that was unsupported, squatting on the ground. And when I say unsupported, I mean, like, you know, off our knee. So it was definitely, that's just, it shows you lubes, patches, and combinations can change what's going on. I mean, you could say it's me, but I know for a fact because we shot this the other day. Little chipmunk. I love how loud chipmunks sound, especially when you've seen lots of deer. So yeah, so patch combination thickness. So just make sure you do your homework. I mean, this gun, out of the box into my hands, I cleaned it, went straight to the range, and took my wife with me. And first shots through here were dead nuts, fist size, baseball size, at steel in the center with a 15,000 hand cast swaged bullet, or a hand cast non-swaged bullet. So it's that got a sprue up, 60 grains, and that was that shoots in powder. So yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoy that. Let me get you over here and set you up on the gun porn stump of awesomeness. And if you've been watching this, I love this stump. This stump reminds me of like a magical forest, you know, just in like a perfect scale model of like a giant tree. There you have it. I hope you enjoy that. And I hope you got a couple of tips on how to bid on GunBroker. If you didn't understand what that was, I know the very first time I ever did it, I didn't understand the rules either, although I didn't keep bidding. I actually clicked the button and said, what is this? Because it's in bright red, and it told me. I was like, oh, okay. So just realize that put your maximum bid. You don't necessarily have to come in and bid it a week ahead of time. I was watching Seneca Hawkins, or Seneca's and the Hawkins in 45, because I don't have a 45 rifle. And I said, you know what? I really want one. So I watched that. I watched another one. Same thing. Guys start bidding it up to $600, and as they're having a bidding war, another one is ending 1 hour after the ones that they're all fighting over. They jump that one up to $600 something. And then I come in on this other one, had $305 on it, and bought it plus shipping, and it'll be here tomorrow. So, you know, it just goes to show you, watch what you're doing. If you really want one specific version for something, great, put a value on it and then walk away, and be willing to walk away. So just remember, 15-minute rule means when you put a bid under in the last 15 minutes, you reset that 15-minute clock, and that just keeps going until somebody gives up. And that's just, so just put your bid in prior to that. I mean, even if you wait till the last hour, you know, at least that way somebody has an opportunity to do it. So with that said, I hope you enjoy that, and you're going to see more of this gun probably. And I think this one, you know, because that inline still giving me some trouble. I've done some hand cast bullets on there. And the next step is going to run some felt wads underneath the those mini balls and the maxis, and I think I can tighten that group up even more. But we discovered, and I got to do another video on that, but we discovered that after I slugged the barrel's way over 50. It was 513. And so there's no way it's going to hold groups with what's going on. So it just sucks. So because my wife can shoot this Thompson in 50, that is probably going to be hers if she chooses to go muzzleloading this year. I'm going to get that. She's going to do it. So you'll see this a little bit here, but she's probably going to use that in her stand because it's almost the perfect size for her. You know, and then that 45 coming in. I mean, and if you want, guys, leave your comments. Let me know some loads. Those of you who have actually harvested deer with your 45 Hawkins or 45 Great Plains or 45 whatever, let me know how your blood trail was. Let me know how your shot placement was. Let me know how far that deer went. Let me know the specifics of it. You know, 60 grains, 80 grains, 100 grains. I know some people love 100 grains, 120 grains out of these guns. I don't see that. I mean, I do 60 grains in all mine, and I've got pass-throughs and deer down pretty damn quick on everything. 30, 40 yards, sometimes 50 yards, pure out adrenaline. I mean, heart's gone. So anyway, let me know those, because I've never shot a 45 into a deer, so I'm curious. So I'd love to hear what you guys have found out. And as usual, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe. Share the channel if you guys find value on here. And I hope everyone's out doing some shooting. And we'll catch you up on the next one, which will probably be either the 45 coming out, or we're going to tighten this group up and finalize those sights for hunting season with those oxyoke patches and hand cast bullets, and we're going to kind of zero this in. So thanks for watching.